good evening. This lecture is about writing task 2. Those who are new to my classroom, they should know that what writing task 2 is. When we are preparing for Ielts, we have writing test in exam of an hour time, means 1 hour time. 20 minutes for general candidates, it will be a letter writing, and for academic candidates, it will be DI, data interpretation. Talking about graphs, pie charts, which you have already done in your school time. But today we are not talking about task 1, we are talking about task 2, writing task 2. As I said, writing test in totality is of an hour, 20 minutes is of task 1 and 40 minutes is of task 2. So what are we concentrating today? Is task 2, writing task 2. What comes in that? That should be very clear. In task 2, we have essay writing. This is somehow similar to the essay writing you did in your school time, but it is a little different concept when it comes to Ielts writing, as it requires deeper reasoning, better selection of words, lexical connection, which means good connectors, and very professional structure of conveying your message, whatever you have in your mind. So we will focus on everything. Writing task 2. Here I have one topic with me. I would like to discuss this particular topic and would explain you the pattern, the selection of words, and how we can score 7.5. Okay, so let me read the topic for you. Some people say that it is possible to tell a lot about a person's culture and character from their choice of clothes. Do you agree or disagree? I'm repeating the question. Some people say that it is possible to tell a lot about a person's culture and character from their choice of clothes they wear. Do you agree or disagree? You see, I'm sure you must have understood 2 keywords. Oh, you are going to, write about character and, choice of clothes you wear. This could be one idea of understanding the topic. But as an Ielts learner, as an Ielts writer, it becomes your accountability to understand what exactly the topic asks you to write. Writing anything extra or writing anything irrelevant may not work. You can straight away come to 5.5. Most of the candidates make that mistake. Either they are very creative writers, they want to write everything about character, they want to write everything about culture. Writing everything about culture and character could absolutely be a wrong concept. So when our topic is, some people say that it is possible to tell a lot about person's culture and character. Question is very clear. Can you judge someone's through one's culture and character? Clothes one wears can easily be checked on that basis or not. So you need to understand, see a core question being asked to you. Now, when I read this question, as a writer, I have been given 40 minutes, so I'll be thinking how to start, what reasoning I have in my mind, and what and how I can conclude. One thing is for sure, that you cannot write everything. You have 40 minutes time, and the word limit you need to maintain for writing task 2 is of 300 words. So when it comes to introduction, you need to plan it nicely. The way you plan your introduction is the need. So you start with introduction. Make sure when you start with your introduction, you are not going to do 2 things. First, you are not going to repeat the line which is given in the question. Never do that. Like, okay, let me give an example. Some people think that a person's character can be judged by clothes. I do not agree, or I agree. You haven't made any input here. You have just, what have you done there? You have copied it and you have rewritten it. So examiner, when check your essay writing, really sees that what style of writing you maintain that. Are you a kind of candidate who keeps on repeating the lines, or you just reframe it? They are CELTA Delta certified. I keep telling it in every lecture of mine. They know that you have this basic style of writing, or you're a kind of person that who has actually googled it and you're going to copy paste it. So you need to be very, very careful. One, you're not supposed to repeat the line given in the question. Second, I think that keyword is very important, and I always focus on thesis line. Now let me tell you what thesis line is. Thesis line is the opening line. thesis line is the opening line. Let's say that you are going to write about tourism. So your opening line will be, tourism has accelerated in last 20 years. Let's say you are writing about environmental damage or environmental damage control. So you may say environmental damage has become a big concern across the country. Okay, so this is how you start your topic. This opening line could be anything, which actually helps you to relate to the topic. Rather than straight away writing something like that, I believe that environmental damage has become a big problem. Or here the topic we have that I believe that it is possible to tell something about a person's culture and character from their choice of clothes. Oh, this would be absolutely copy-paste thing. So make sure you work upon your thesis line. Write from your thesis line. So for this particular topic, if we have to generate a thesis line, I may say that looks are deceptive. I may start this way. Like looks are deceptive means, looks don't tell anything about a person. Deceptive, it's D-E-C-E-P-T-I-V-E, which means that cannot be authentic, cannot be real. So looks are deceptive. Or a man is known by the character and clothes he acquires or possesses. Quote it. So you see, it could be any thesis line. So opening line really tells that what are you going to write further. Okay. After you have worked upon your thesis line, you need to straight away come to the point. No beating about the bush. You're not supposed to write anything which is not asked. Okay. So if you're writing something like that, character is everything. One should have good character. And if you possess a good character, life becomes better. And you see people wear a lot of odd clothes they should not wear. This is absolutely against their culture. Oh, what are you writing? You need to take care of that. You haven't been asked these questions. You have a very straight question. Can you judge someone by someone's clothes? Or maybe, like someone's character can be judged by clothes. So it's a very simple question. Make sure that you keep your question in mind and, then do it. Alright, so I was talking about thesis line, which every candidate must work upon. Right after thesis line, you should straight away come to the point rather beating about the bush. I have already said that. So if my topic is, some people say that it is possible to tell a lot about a person's culture and character from their choice of clothes. Right after my thesis line, I will be writing something like this. Not many people agree. I think I always ask my students not to repeat the word people. Rather, you have certain phrases, you may say, one set of notion says it. One set of notion means that one set of idea says this, instead of repeating the word people. Or you can straight away use the word some. Make sure you use only some. Don't say some people, say some. Some agree to the notion that a lot can be revealed by one's attire and character one possesses. So I think that you have to reframe it, but you don't have to use copied words. Make sure that you have your own idea of doing it. This was for 6.5, but if you really want to keep it at 7 or 7.5, right after this line you need to add one reasoning. As everything is unpredictable in this world, so are the looks. So here you have given reasoning in one line. As everything is unpredictable in this world, so are the looks. So I think that this one line reasoning has really set the tone what exactly you are going to talk about. But make sure you don't be over elaborative and you talk about a lot of things, So right after that, you can use the line, I am of the same opinion. Or you can say that, therefore, I agree to the above mentioned notion. Do not write, I see many students writing this way that in the following paragraph, I will give my opinion or something like that. I think that for me, it's very cliche. Don't do that. Straight away say, I am of the same opinion, or therefore, I hold the same notion. Notion is N-O-T-I-O-N. Notion is idea. Or you can say, therefore, I am convinced with the fact that, and then again, one line if you want to just wind up your introduction. In case you have noticed, I haven't used the other side. So it's good you don't write the other side of the topic. Just write one side, whatever you agree or you disagree. In case you disagree, that maybe that nothing can be told. So I think you should have written in that direction only. And the last line again saying, I am of the same opinion. More than that, nothing is required in introduction. No, first of all, I would like to say, having looked at a lot of possibilities around, I would like to say, this happens, that happens, whatever happens, please do not write that in introduction. Keep it for second para. Now, after introduction, we have second para. Second para says two clear things. One is, if you agree, prove it. So if you agree, you have to write 2 points. Not 2 lines, you have to write 2 points and make sure that you explain 2 points. Whatever points you have in your mind, whatever reasoning you have in your mind, and do not mix it with a lot of points, The moment you look at the topic, I'm pretty sure that a lot of points, strike you. Let's say that, oh, one's character cannot be judged. Sometimes people look so sweet and, sugar-coated, that style they have, but they are really betrayers, like this is your random thinking in your mind. But your random thinking cannot be part of writing. You have to be very careful. So I always suggest, if you have 40 minutes, right after that you have finished your introduction, jot down your important points, make a list that, okay, yes, these are my 2 points and my job is to elaborate these 2 points only. Cambridge writing wants you to be very clear with the ideas such as reasoning, assertion and example. Reasoning means, why do you think so? Assertion means that if this happens, what would be the result of this? And one example, whatever you have in your mind. Now, if I really, disagree to this, so let's say I really feel that nothing can be revealed by someone's clothes or, you can't judge someone's character by someone's clothes or culture. So in that case, I think, I will think what 2 points I have in my mind. So for this particular topic, let's say, I have, made up my first point that there are many cultures in the world and we have entered into the world of globalization now. There is a sheer amalgamation of culture at this point of time. So anybody can wear anything in the world, right? I think, the kind of clothes people wear, it has absolutely come out of the geographical boundaries. So this could be my first point, and that is how I need to explain that. And you cannot talk about, one's, maybe that one's culture or one's character through clothes, right? Let's say that these days, particularly in the US or maybe that in African countries, people have started wearing Indian attires, but it doesn't mean that they have accepted Indian culture too. So, you see, you have to make up your mind that what 2 points I have in your mind, and then again, you have in your mind, and then that is how you plan your writing. Okay, so my first point would be, I will start looking at the broader picture of society. First of all, please don't write it, I don't recommend that. So, generally say that looking at the broader picture of society, it is clear or it is seen. Do not write something like that, I see, I can feel. Avoid these lines. Straight away say looking at the broader picture of society, or looking at contemporary style, or maybe that in modern time, it is seen that clothes are a matter of choice. It is no more restricted, or they are, in case you're writing clothes, so make sure plural, they are not restricted to any sort of cultural barrier. So I think, you have explained the reason. This is known as reasoning. Now coming to the second point, assertion. Therefore, many countries in the world choose to wear what they like, irrespective of the culture they hold. So this is called assertion. Now I need to write example. For example, kimono, right, in Japan is worn by native people, right, traditionally, but it has it has been looked at a styling, I think that a fashionable figure in many Asian countries too. In for example, in my country, people prefer to wear kimono. Earlier they were not wearing kimono. We know that it's kind of attire in Japan. People wear that. So it's not, it's, you need to check it on Google, right? So maybe a kind of attire. Earlier it used to be worn in Japan only, but now as a style it is worn everywhere. You can write this example. If not this, I think that you can go for any other example. For an example, that hijab, right? A lot of values are attached to it when it comes to hijab in Gulf countries and Muslim countries. But now in many foreign countries, particularly in the US, people call it a bandana, and they wear it around their head. So I think that it has become more of a style. So there is no cultural characterization through this. So we are very clear with that. Okay, yes, we are going for reasoning, then we are going for assertion, and then we are going for example. So, you see, you have to take one point only, you have to explain that point, and then you have to write a corresponding example to it, which suits the explanation you have given above, right? Alright, so similarly, you have to go for second point also. The way I have explained first point, you will go for the second point. Same style, reasoning, assertion, or example. Okay, so one you have written about culture. I think second could be about character. I think, it is not, because if you remember, I told you in the thesis line that looks are deceptive. So, there are many people who wear clean clothes or very ethical clothes, or they always look neat and tidy. But I think that, you really can't judge their character through their clothes. I think once they start speaking, they tell the world who they are, right? So maybe that you can say something like that, whatever you wear, it doesn't matter what kind of character you hold that. And I think that people, those who agree, they will say that obviously clothes do talk about character. So that is absolutely your call. You agree or you disagree. I completely disagree to the topics I've written in that context only, that character cannot be judged by one's clothes. So I think that in Muslim countries also, in Asian countries also, people love to wear modern clothes, but they are very close to their cultural values, or when it comes to character or celebrating festivals or something like that. So again, I think that character can never be seen through. Make sure that I use some other words instead of just saying that cannot be told, cannot be told. You cannot repeat the word told. That is how writing is planned. Writing is all about planning. I think I've tried my simplest way to explain you that what writing is all about. By now we have discussed introduction. Second is that in case you agree or disagree, you have to write in that context only. Third paragraph, here we need to discuss a bit. Third paragraph is your choice. If you don't want to write the third paragraph, you can skip, but in that case you have to increase the length of your second paragraph. So let's say you only agree, you don't want to write the other side, not even a bit. Pattern says whether you agree or disagree, writing the other side a bit, a little is needed. But you may avoid it if you really don't want to write the other side. Cambridge hasn't defined this pattern. So in case you just want to write either agreement or disagreement only, make sure that you write or you finish in 20 lines at least. And if you have no material, if you really feel like that, okay, I can't go ahead and I'm done with my 15 lines explanation, then you must write a little on the other side. Why? Because it will compensate, right? Any which way you have to match the word limit of 300 words. So kindly take care of that. So when you write the other side of the topic, maybe just a glance of the other side, do not write it of equal length. Otherwise, it is not clear that you agree or you disagree. So it is your choice. You want to write the other side or you don't want to write the other side. If you want to write the other side, write something like this. That sometime, to some extent, character and culture can be judged. I think that, maybe from distance, if you have a cop or you have a monk, by looking at the attire the person is wearing, you can absolutely check one's character, right? Whether the person is congenial or maybe that threatening or a goon. Goon is considered people those who do eve teasing or something like that. So that is how it is. Maybe a bit of other side, just 4 or 5 lines. And right after that, you have one fine conclusion. When you start your conclusion, make sure that you don't write in conclusion, I would like to say, I so hate this line. Don't write this. Always say that having looked at all possibilities of agreement, it is true to say that. Something like that. Or maybe you can have your own line. Taken everything into consideration, it is very clear that maybe whatever your conclusion is. Make sure you don't write conclusion for formality. You make it very cohesive, you make it very meaningful. Though it is the last paragraph, yet it has an equal, it is of equal importance. You really can't neglect it. So one fine, good conclusion is the need. And one tip I would like to give before I call off. Vocabulary plays an important role. 2-3 things you have to keep in mind: that you're not supposed to repeat the word want, like, give, take, can, will all the time. So in the next lecture, I will just talk about vocabulary. If you haven't listened or seen this lecture of mine, the next lecture will not be very clear to you. So keep learning. Bye-bye.